It is Feel Good Friday, and I hope everyone is feeling good. What a week. What a few weeks. Month. What a month. But this is a Feel Good Friday right here, without a doubt. And I'm live stream, so you can chat with me if you would like, and if you don't want to chat with me, that's fine. Or if you're coming on after the full live stream, that's cool. One thing about this live stream, you can't stop it. This is not where I do a live stream and I don't have you all chat with me. This is a persistent stream where you can come on and you chat with me, and there's no cut, stop, or anything. And we'll be having a lot more of these discussions when we go through town halls and stuff like that. So I do encourage you all to do the live chat with me, and I will chat back. Just keep it real respectful. But thank you so much for locking in to 1021. I'm BEBE Davis, publisher and founder. And so, on a Friday, quarantine. There are a lot of club quarantines out there. We have many great DJs, like DJ D-Nice did a great club quarantine, and that was like so cool. You know, we're finding innovative ways to do things in the midst of moments that we have not have any experience in our anything, you know. Many of us, if you had your grandparents, great-grandparents in your life for a long time, where you could hear the stories of the things that they went through, like from World War I, World War II, and the different plagues that they saw. You just have to have your faith that things will set on the right axis, and that those who put their lives on the line, they won't do it in vain. So continue to social distance yourself, continue to quarantine and chill, and stay abreast of the current happenings on your local, state news media of your preference, and on the major news preferences. And for those who do not have, like cable, for the cable access news that run constantly, there's the radio. So listen into your radio stations and just stay abreast. I want to thank Team 1021 Media Group for being outstanding. We are behind the scenes, and we're doing a lot of research. That way we can give you a lot of information. And that information will be coming on Sunday when we wrap up the series. We're going to be giving you a lot of the different things to do. Oh my goodness, I'm talking about TGIF Friday, my bad. See, when you're running and doing so much, it's Saturday. So happy Saturday, everybody. My bad. See, this is what happens. Like I said before, once the cameras are off and you get a little bit of sleep, then you are behind the scenes getting the next segments done, and then, you know, a lot of times you might lose track of time. I know a lot of people that we heard from, they were just like, you know, the days are just running into one another, because I honestly am indoors, and I got the time and the dates and all that, but you know, being indoors and you're in quarantine, for those who are practicing the quarantines, it's just like, what day is it? You know, I came jumping on here talking, what's up everybody, TGIF, and it's like, it's Saturday, so clap, it's Saturday, hey, it's Saturday, BEBE, get it through your head, It's Saturday. So I got my hair all twisted up here. Always trying to find some new do's for the baby. I got my red, white, and blue on. Now, I have so many of these different tops and dresses. You know, I love my red, white, and blue. Rocking that American flag. And as a reina cubana, rocking that same color in a different way. So you know that I really enjoyed house music and house music lounges, especially in my party days of the 20s, teenager, but definitely in the 20s after I got to college. Being in the city, you know, Charlotte has really changed a lot, the scene. And you just have so many different outlets to go to. Matter of fact, when my birthday weekend, February, what's up, Pisces? We were enjoying CIAA 2020, the finale, because the basketball tournament for CIAA conference, historically Black College and University Conference, it leaves Charlotte after over a decade, and it goes to Baltimore, Maryland. How you all say? Shout out, Melissa. Now my other good family up in DC. So I was headed to an event because 1021 Magazine, we have covered CIAA sports, and I am a sportcaster for over 20 years in sports media. Yeah, your girl wear a lot of ass, you know. I was headed to an event because we worked real close after covering the games. We worked real close with the promoters, and we're very specific about the certain events that we go to. So I want to shout out all of the promoters that work with me, and we still have coverage to unlock for CIAA. You can catch that over at BEBE Love Sports, BEBELUVSPORTS. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of keep rolling here with this. This is called Promised Land. Ben Butenjik. German, I think. It could be German or Poland or something like that. But I always love, you know, showing love to the artists and everything like that. So, good people. Gosh, what was I saying? Yeah, you know, it's just like, I was headed to an event, but then I stopped in at Good Girlfriend, and she has her own reggae shop in Charlotte. It's called Reggae Central, and more like a good mother from another mother, you know, Miss Carolyn Barber, and me and her daughter Nikki Barber. Miss Carolyn is the proprietor of Reggae Central, right in Charlotte. So I stopped by there. It was me and my auntie, because my auntie is my auntie. And we were supposed to get some goodies from there because we were headed to some other events to make appearances and stuff like that. But then we just sat down, and this was one of those meant to be type of situations. We sat down on the wickers, and the great reggae music was playing, and then the incense was going, and then we had the bottle of red wine, and then we just started talking about the sisterhood of different topics, which a lot of topics would be talked about here on 1021. And then when I open up my lifestyle channel, which is already set, it's going to be BEBE. But we just started talking about, you know, it was one of those, my sister is my keeper. because you had just sisters sitting there. We were letting the wine breathe at the popping the cork and just really talking about some very deep situations and subjects and conversations, and it was so good. And I say all that to say is that I was where I was meant to be at that time, and we are in this moment in time, we are where we are to be. Not all that tapping, you know, where you think you can be a certain place because you need to be there, but maybe that trying to tap your way to be there, you need to stay where you are, because that's where you are supposed to be. The design of life, we do have our free will, but also in the design of life, there will be challenges and moments that is beyond our control and supersedes beyond our free will and beyond our destined path. But then it'll all come full circle. So we're in this moment. And this is something that we have not faced before as a nation. This is something that has not been faced before in the entire world. So it's going to be up to us on how we rise to this occasion. And for this Saturday, we're not going to spend the time going in depth about the press conference that happened today. But I will say that, good people, you need to keep your eye on the pulse of everything that's happening in the news more than ever, because there needs to be some type of unification from every 50 states in America on how we get uniformed before this big event they say is going to happen, a megawatt loss of life. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything here, and I'm not going to tiptoe through any tulips. I'm going to let you know here what the real is, and I've always done that on the platforms. We can be online and offline. We could be kikiing. That's laughing. We can say whatever we want to say. But there are loss of lives happening. People are hanging on for dear life, just trying to breathe, and then they can't breathe, and they got a ventilator breathing for them. And you got some people who do not have pre-existing conditions, as they try to say before. This coronavirus is wide open because it does not fit the stereotype, and it does not fit the blueprint of anything that we've ever seen. But even through the past, the present, I'm sure those behind the scenes can get a handle on it. And I want to really say this with more importance, more than anything, before we lighten it back up. Social distance yourself, and the CDC has said, get the mask, get the mask. And I mean, you need to try and get a mask that's not the regular thin ones, but you need to get a hold of a little bit more sturdier of mask and more coverings to cover you. As I stated on last night, out of quarantine, we'll have to get out and get the things that I need. There was coughing all around me. And even though there were like 3 people behind me before you got to the person that was just hacking away, I wasn't in a safety zone, because once that goes out, it just disperses everywhere. I was compromised. And so I felt really uneasy, but then I just stayed in my faith. And I came home and I did the things that I needed to do to combat whatever was swirling in the air when that cough went down. And so these are the things when they say quarantine and chill. Because you have some people out there who they may have to get out to do what they needed to do. I can't blame them per se, because they didn't do anything crazy like cough on someone where, you know, you were ready to beat them down. It didn't seem intentional, but still, the cost of you going out, unless you really have to, and you go around people, it's an at-risk moment. So you want to do the best that you can, because hospitals are overflowing. Nurse staff in certain places are still in need, and there is a short supply of respirators to help you breathe. So we definitely need to take this seriously. Even if you don't have high number of cases in your area, you need to stay in chill mode. Alright, so what do you do a lot of times when you're in quarantine and chill? You could do different spa days if you want to. You know, do your nails, do your face, and it just depends on your living circumstances. If you have someone that living with you or children or whatever, you can do a nice little spa session. You can always do meditation, which is a beautiful thing. And you don't need anyone around just to do that. It'd be great if you had someone. But still, if you had someone, you are still in your own space. Centering yourself, you know. You can watch great movies. You can listen to great music. The technology of the powers of the internet that we have. You can do video calls. You can do video dates. I saw that where people doing cute little video dates. And then you could do the prayer circle if you are in that faith where you get on the video calls, and you can do great affirmations and stuff like that. You can use certain app games, and if everybody plays the same game, such as like blackjack with me and my crew, then we all pick a time to go in. And we go into the app and we meet in certain rooms and we play blackjack. But one good thing that I really love out of everything is reading. Now, this is Beatrice Small's The Sky O'Malley series, and I talked about that. When it comes to reading, this is about as far as I go with the romance. Historical romance. Has to be some type of historical vibration. And so this is a good one. My girlfriend turned me on to this. And she also was my cousin as well, Wendella. So Sky O'Malley was such a strong character, and then it turned into a series. And then Beatrice Small is just such a great author, very vivid. So this is the first book, and they come in, you know, different covers. I've just been too lazy to get the bigger cover of this one. But this is the first of the series. So reading is really, really great for those who like to read. So I got a little cough here. But I think that's just for me having such a, you know, not getting my water intake like I was supposed to do today. All the Sweet Tomorrows. Now, I found this cover. The bookstores are long gone. I had found this on the outskirts of Charlotte. This was in Pineville. And they had all the big books, the big covers of Sky O'Malley. Now, my cousin Wendella didn't have the big books like this one. But I was just like, oh, wow. I've got to get this. So when I showed her, she was like, oh my gosh, I got to get to ordering. It was in really great condition. I love the detail on it. So I was just like, in my quarantine and chill, these would be really good to revisit. Then this one, another great book, and this is still the saga of Sky O'Malley. This is her daughter, Velvet. And I really liked Velvet, and I thought they shortchanged the series, in my opinion. I thought Beatrice should have explored more of Velvet's life, even though it's all about Sky O'Malley. But even Sky has her adventures, but I felt like Velvet should have been explored more. But she does have one really good book in there. So this is the daughter of Sky O'Malley. But they seem to focus in on Velvet's daughter, Jasmine. Like Jasmine had more of the fire, like Sky O'Malley. So then, well, I'm getting the coughs here. And then also too, you know, I've been talking a lot on the different series on film and then off the scene. So this cough is coming from just doing a lot of talking when I should really be resting my voice and stuff. But this is called Wild Jasmine. Very good to read for quarantine and chill. And just a very beautiful cover. And I think in this book, this series is, at this point, Sky is probably in her 90s. And so she leaves. Let's see. I'm trying to see, is this when she leaves? Okay, she doesn't leave in this book. But in this one, this is the second saga for Sky's granddaughter, Jasmine. This is called Darling Jasmine. She does her exit. Yeah, she leaves in this one. And I'll read a quick little excerpt. It says, Grandmama. Jasmine placed a kiss on her forehead. How do you feel? And Sky said, tired. She answered the young woman, Jasmine, which is her granddaughter. Darling Jasmine, her husband called her. Her favorite grandchild, although she had certainly never had a favorite until Jasmine had come into her life. She felt no shame at all in loving Jasmine best of all of them. She had arrived a month ago for her English summer with her beloved Jimmy and her 8 children, 14, and his father's image, Fortune at 13, outgrowing her goatishness and promising to rival India shortly. Charlie, the not-so-royal Stuart, now 11, and like his elder brother, every inch his father's son. And the 4 little Leslies, Patrick, Adam, Duncan, and the old woman's youngest descendant, Janet Sky, who had been born just over 6 months ago on her own 82nd birthday. So by this time, Sky O'Malley was 82. She turned toward the windows again, and it was then that she saw them. This is Sky transitioning from this life to the next life. She saw them as they came walking toward her out of the sunset. Now Burke, as she had first known him, his smooth-shaven face, tan by the outdoors, his short-cropped hair at midnight, dark as her own. This is her first love, first husband, or her second husband. Her father, and Eben, who was smiling at her, and the Khalid El Bey with his long oval face, with its well-barbered black beard and those melting amber eyes, fringe in the outrageously thick lashes she had always envied. So she's seeing her past come to her, and as many know, that when people leave and transition, like they see loved ones and stuff like that, it's been well documented and accounted. It's just as if you believe it or not. So she sees all these people, and then she also sees her Joffrey Southwood, lean, blonde, and arrogantly handsome. His lime green eyes laughing at her surprise, and her darling Daisy, not old and wizened as she had been a year ago. This was like her maidservant. But she was a younger woman. And she said, "Come, little girl. It is time for us to go now." So she goes into the sunset with all of her men flanking her, as she looks forward to a new venture, and she eagerly accepts their invitation, and she says, "Gentlemen, lead on." She linked arms with them, and she hurried off toward the sunset and down the road to forever, without so much as a regret or a backwards glance. And I love the part where they said, like, for now, another door was opening. She would miss her children and grandchildren, of course, but one day they would meet again. She rose from her sick bed, gazing long and lovingly at everyone who came to visit. Her smile was bright as the morning. So Jasmine, she felt the separation, and she was like, knowing that her grandmother had left. "She is gone from us for now. Do not weep," her husband says. "She would not want it. She would want you to be brave as she was brave." Jasmine said brokenly, "They say I'm like her. And I wish it was so, but it is not. There would never be a woman like Sky O'Malley. Ever again. Never again." And he said no. There would never, ever be a woman like Sky O'Malley. "Godspeed, Sky," he said softly. "Godspeed until we meet again." So this is a really good series that can really keep you into a nice moment in time while you're in quarantine and chill. And so I like those kind of readings. I love mystery type readings. They just have a lot there for your viewing and listening pleasure for you to enjoy. Why we have the special ones who are trying to figure this out. And then we're also going to be figuring it out too, to contain it on our end by doing what we can during the moment of this coronavirus. So reading is really, really good. Like I said, meditation, even getting outside in your own surroundings, not around a lot of people, just in your home or wherever you are, and taking in the sunset outside for at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes, taking in the night sky. This is a definitely self-reflection for a lot of people. So self-reflect. It's good for the mind, body, spirit, and soul. You just self-reflect and do what you need to do. Anyway, this is BEBE Davis. Make sure you check out the numbers still of what is happening with the coronavirus. But then also, too, with all the coverage, give yourself a little break and enjoy your Saturday. You can also come on back and enjoy tonight in a couple of hours right here on 1021 Magazine, where I will be doing a tribute to the great Marvin Gaye. So make sure you come on back. It will be live stream with chat That is the plan. But if we don't have the live stream with chat, then I will live stream it. It just depends. Because there have been some technical difficulties on the back end, so we just have to see how it goes. So it will be in a couple of hours. We might go with Pacific Standard Time, which would be about 2 a.m. for East Coast, 1 a.m. for Central, and then 11-ish for Pacific Standard Time. So we just have to see how it goes. But anyway, thanks so much for locking in. Just wanted to, you know, give a little more mellow vibe, but the seriousness is still there. Just make sure you do what you can. Do your lockdown, do your quarantine and chill, and find innovative ways to do things. And, you know, just keep the faith and keep things positive. And protect yourself at all costs. Make sure you get those masks. And, like I said, protect yourself at all costs while they are still trying to figure this out. And I'm very optimistic that we can denounce the loss of life and we can denounce the spreading of this coronavirus if we do our part as citizens. Even if you're a public figure, lawmaker, anything, as citizens and Americans, do our part to self-quarantine and stay out of the space where we can come in contact with someone. And if you're asymptomatic and it might be you that may spread something unknowingly, the best thing to do is to quarantine and chill and self-distance. Okay? Like, again, it's a great way to self-reflect about your life and learn new things about you and all that good stuff, especially when you might be one of those people who love to rip and run and all that. And I do understand for some people, you know, they have a lot on their mind. It's very stressful. They may have children. It might be just them. You know, this could be a lonely time and a scary time for people. You know, reach out to your loved ones as much as you can. And, you know, a lot of people are out of work and they're getting really, really nervous about what's going to be happening with the bills and all this other stuff and the food to eat and taking care of the day-to-days. You know, we're going to be talking about that in depth on Sunday. So, you know, make sure you come back for that, for the finale. Just be really good to yourself. That's what we can do for ourselves, is to be really, really good. Because when you're good to yourself, you know, good things come from that by just self-care and self-love. You know, maybe you've been ripping and running and it's time for you to, you know, catch up on a lot more rest. The resting of the body gives renewal of the body. And that's what we need to do a lot of times. We always do so much ripping and running and we self-care with other people, but we don't self-care enough with ourselves. And in order for you to help someone else, you have to make sure that you are okay. So I think that's it for now. Got a little bit of outside noise there. We got a racer in the neighborhood that right now everybody needs to be on their straight chill mode as much as possible. But YouTube also has some really great movies. You know, if you don't have a certain movie, put in the search and boom, it may pop up. And that'll be a good thing, you know. Watch an old movie online in the comfort of your bed or on the couch. Throw on some candles and light some incense if you have that. Throw on some mellow music, throw it in the background. You know, just whatever you can do to keep yourself more zen and more chilled, because that also will do better for the immune system, more help than harm. Okay, so that's what you want to do. But anyway, thanks so much for locking in, everyone. More to come. Come on back to 1021 for the Marvin Gaye tributes. I'm BB Davis for 1021 Magazine, and thanks so much for locking in. Peace and love.